I am punctual. Yes. All right. YouTube, Instagram, YouTube. Hello, live world. Welcome to Ian's extraordinary live painting live stream. That's a mouthful. It also takes a long time to type, so anytime you see it typed out, know that I spent a while on that, a couple minutes. Anyway, welcome to the program. This is hard. I got two cameras I gotta look at here and stay in the frame of this one. Boom. All right. Instagram, YouTube, Instagram, YouTube at Ian Tartasky. Get me on Instagram. Hey, Instagram, get me on YouTube. Just search Ian Tartasky. Subscribe. Uh, Welcome to the party. Um, so I did like an Instagram live 2 weeks ago for this. This is tough. Hold on, come over here. And that was kind of just like the foray into this situation. So this is official episode one. Episode one. So welcome. But on that Instagram live, what we did is we worked on these three signs here. These are things that have been on my wall for a really long time. Meg scored them at some point from somewhere, which was great. But they've just been sitting there. And I thought maybe this was a perfect opportunity to kind of try and complete those signs. Cheers, everybody. I love you guys. Hope you guys are doing all right in this quarantine. It's crazy. Meg and I went grocery shopping today. I don't want to go again. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to leave, but also I want to get the heck out of here because I'm losing it a little bit. I think, you know, I always thought I was an introvert, but I think like I need outside. I think I do need human interaction, but I just, you know, when I get it from work and on a daily basis, being out, that's like enough. But now that I'm stuck inside, I'm like, shoot, I need more interaction. But anyway, so thanks for this. I guess, we're connecting digitally, which is rad. All right, back to these bad boys. We're going to put some layers on these. We're going to work our way towards the center. We're just going to kind of look at them a little bit. We'll talk about them. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw those my way. I will, without a doubt, answer questions. I'll try and pay attention to these two chat screens I have going. All right, so if you'll remember, last week, 2 weeks ago, we put this beautiful rose on here. This is a paper cutout rose. I was telling all y'all I have this machine called a Silhouette. It's really old at this point. Probably due for an upgrade. But in the last live stream, we Mod Podged or gel mediumed this bad boy down. So this is a sweet rose. It's paper. I don't know if you can see that from the images here. But we darkened up the background so that when we put the rose down, the rose would stick out a little bit. It did a little bit of what we want, but when we were sealing it, you can kind of see we got some smearage here. We're gonna fix that smearage up. I mixed a really nice light pink that we're just gonna kind of put over that. And I think what we're gonna do is we're not even gonna cover all the lines. I think we're just gonna cover the central lines. And what that's gonna do is allow kind of the center of it to feel like it's a little closer to us, which I think will be fun when we start layering stuff over it and stuff like that. We're probably going to draw some circles on there. I pre-prepped some stuff to show you guys some of the magic. So today we're going to use some stamps. We're going to use some stencils. We're going to use some paint, some compasses, some markers, and we're going to use some alcohol for drinking. Cheers. All right. How have y'all been? How's everything? Getting stir crazy? I'm just cleaning up a brush over here. Hi. All right, so I have a whole bevy of brushes after. Oh, shut up. Oh, you bad boy. Some of them are really good. Some of them are really good brushes, like nice expensive ones like this. This is a liner. So this is like a really nice, tight, small, great for just making really, really nice opaque lines. Some of my brushes are really crappy. I really like using crappy brushes because I like that texture. But right now we're doing some line work, so that calls for a fine brush. I mixed up these two pinks for today's show. You probably can't tell the difference here. But one is a nice, cute pink, adorable pink, and then one is just that same pink with a little white in it. But we're gonna go for that much lighter, much lighter color. My brush is already wet. Anytime I start with a brush, I pull it out, I get it wet, I mix it around in a little bit of water because you never know what's still on there. You never know if it's still sticky or whatever. Hi, y'all. Nobody on YouTube live here though, chatting with me. Hi guys, chat with me. YouTube, Instagram, YouTube. Oh, that was backwards. All right. Little dippage. Boom. Boom. And like I said, I wonder if I could do this closer to the camera. We'll see. This is an adventure. Adventure time with Ian. All right. Yeah, I think I can do this. So I'm just going to come in. I'm probably only just going to do this center bulb inside of this pattern here. And I don't really mind if it gets too sloppy. I kind of want it to be good, but also slop is fun. I used to make mistakes a lot, and Meg would say, "Oh no," and I'd be like, "It's fine. Just adds character." Uh, I love character, and I love my paintings to have that handmade. Even though I do a lot of digital techniques, I love that handmade, hand painted situation. So it's cool. Like if you don't hit the line exactly, if you smear a little bit, that's cool. Really, we just kind of want to draw attention to the center of this bulb because that's what the rose does anyway. Is all those petals are just pulling your eye right into the center. So we're still cruising here. I still have a decent amount of paint on my brush. It's not going down entirely opaque. It's got a little transparency to it, but I think that's okay because I think it's still doing the trick. Still nice and bright. You can kind of see, yeah, you can see how now those 3 lines I did right there are kind of like popping out a little more than the other lines. Cool, rock and roll. We did it. Oh, where'd I put the paint though? Every time. All right, I'm going to try and hold this in my hand while guys, we're going off the wall here. All right, so we're cruising actually. This bulb is not almost done, but you know what I'm talking about. So while I'm painting this line, Meg and I watched today Knives Out. You seen that? Knives Out? Really good. I liked it. I was expecting a little bit more of a twist at the end, just because I feel like modern movies really like to kind of overdo things. So I was expecting a little more, but I thought Chris Evans did a great job. I just liked it. It was good. It was a good flick. Would watch again. And then of course, the new Star Wars now available on iTunes. So I bought that too. And I know there's a lot of Star Wars haters out there, especially as of late, but I still find it to be a pleasing film. Would watch 50, 60, 1,000 more times. It's visually very, very fun. Sometimes if something is super pretty, the plot doesn't even I don't even care about the plot all that much. I'm just trying to see the pretty stuff. There's a lot of movies like that. Well, what was that Fifth Element guy? He made another movie, Valerian and the Planet of a Thousand Cities, Cultures, whatever that was. Not a great movie, but the visuals were pretty awesome. And I'm into things that are kind of conceptual. If you hadn't noticed, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. Is that? It looks like it's popping out a little more, right? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Eric Norris. Marilee. Hi, guys. Hi, Rix. Terrence. Kelsey. What's good? I miss all you guys. This quarantine is rough. What's going on in the world is rough. I'm not a big fan. But, I see everybody out there trying to make the best of it. I like that a lot. I'm trying to make the best of it. All right. Whoop. Missing a few lines. Missing a few lines. You know, Bob Ross used to have he had like a segment with his pet squirrel. I'm not gonna do that, but that'd be a really fun thing to do. You guys can meet my snake, Berta. Probably some of you have already met Berta. Berta's great. Berta's always just staring at me. I'm staring back, thinking, "What are you?" He's probably thinking the same thing. What are you? I am human, Snake. I am human. All right. See, I'm gonna show Instagram. You can kind of see that bud is out a little more, but more importantly, what we did is we covered up our smudge mistake, which was kind of actually knocking the center of that back a little bit, which we don't want because, you know, when we're kind of messing with our depths here, you always want the things that are closer to you to be the highest contrast. So anything that's close to you is higher contrast than things that are far away from you. So, you know, in theory, if something was right on your eyeball, I think you'd perceive it just as black and white. Actually, if you squint your eyes real hard, all you kind of see is black and white. And I don't know where I was going with that. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. All right. I wash our brush. I didn't always used to do this when I was young. Oh, big mistake. Lost a lot of brushes. Always wash your brushes. Lately, what I've been doing actually is even cleaning up the studio immediately after I'm done using it, which is pretty rad. So it's like, you know, I come into a totally clean studio. I don't feel stressed about anything. I love that. It's great. You know, dry. You gotta dry your brushes. See, still such a nice point on this thing. Such a good brush. I got a set of 4 of these. They're all different sizes. I had never had a brush like this before that, like a really nice liner brush. I gotta say, it makes such a difference. But I still use markers for those super lines that you want, which I can't do with a brush because I don't have the skills. Brush skills are brush skills are low on my list of things I'm good at, surprisingly, because I'm a painter. I'm a painter. Let's see. Am I working on any canvases at the moment? Eric Norris, thank you for the great question. Instagram, I'll get to you in a moment. I am always working on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have about 9 unfinished projects. Well, no, that's unfinished paintings. I have about 1 million unfinished projects. I could show you actually 2 things that I finished 2 days ago, yesterday. These are some roses that I've been working on. I'm going to show YouTube and then I'll show you Instagram. These are some roses that I've been working on for like a really long time. Basically, I was stuck at home without Meg for probably a month and a half. On Instagram, I'll do you one at a time. And Meg was gone, and I was home alone, and I was hella lonely. I get hella lonely when Meg's gone. End up drinking a lot and try to just paint as much as I can. I started these then. That was Christmas 2 years ago or something like that. They've been kind of on the wall and going through different processes as I go, but you can see in these we've also got some paper cut stuff going on. We've got some stamps. In fact, the way background of it is digital, so if you get super close you could probably see like digital dots almost. And then, you know, paint, markers, whatever I happen to roll across at the time. Sometimes paintings like this are hard because it used to be, the centers used to be really, really like nice painterly roses, but it was driving me insane. I didn't like them. They both didn't look similar enough to each other that I thought I could call them a series, even though they would totally have been a series. But I just finished these, so I'm really happy with finishing these because they've been on my walls for a really long time, staring at me, just being like, paint me. But yeah, I started them because it was winter and I was hella depressed and I wanted to see some flowers. So I started painting flowers. In fact, that's kind of where my whole flower theme came from. You're welcome, Eric. Love you, kid. Eric's really awesome. Eric's like a musical buddy. He works sound and stuff on musicals, and he's always letting me go see musicals. And God bless you, Eric. You have enriched my life so much. Here's to you. Carla, Colleen, hi. Everybody, hi. So many of you. You guys are great. All right, we're going to move on to the next panel. Here we're going to use some stamps. Stamps are something I use all the time. Stamps are great. Stamps are, well, let's talk about it a little bit. Stamps. I have letter stamps. I have like, 4 or 5 different sets of these. They're different fonts or they're different typefaces, which is rad. So actually we're going to use something today, which is just a couple of those all rubber banded together. It says IRO, it says nub. We talked about those on the last one, but we can go over those again. And, you just rubber band them together and boom. Repetition is key. Shepherd Fairy, obey. Repetition is key. Stamps, I also have these. We might maybe use these. These are emoji stamps. They are unofficial emoji stamps, I believe. I don't think any money went towards the people who make emojis, but sorry guys, you're doing all right, I bet. I have stamps like this. This is my grid stamp. Boom, boom, boom. Slap a couple of these down. This makes copying images really easy. So if I want to put somebody's face on a painting, I'll just grid up the painting and then I'll take a photo of the painting. And then I have a phone app that I can adjust transparency. So I will put the photo I'm trying to draw over the photo of the gridded canvas, drop the opacity, and then I can just square by square draw what I'm trying to do. So I do that a lot. That's something I do all the time. So different flowers, faces sometimes, text, stuff like that. It's a super useful tool. I can't show you because this is, well, I have a whole drawer full of stamps. I have like texture stamps, letter stamps. I'm hoping to kind of get into just simple shape stamps that I can just boom, 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 stamp around circles. I have, geez. Well, anyway, you don't need to know that. You need to know we're about to use some stamps on this next canvas. Not canvas, sign. You guys may recognize this one from our last session. You're going to recognize all of these from our last session. But this one, where's my hole? This one, we're starting to lay in basically like some swamp grass here. Because we like Meg. Meg likes floofy things. I like floofy things. So we're devoted to putting some floofy things on this canvas, which we're gonna do, but I think that's gonna come later because I want that floofiness, that kind of seagrass, marsh grassy stuff to be in the foreground. And so right now we're kind of working on, I guess it would be the sky of this scene. I don't really do landscapes. I'm generally fairly abstract, but I think lately we're getting into landscape mode. I've been working on this one. This is a really big landscape I'm working on. Anyway, we're gonna do some stamping. I think we're just basically gonna come down the side with the stamp, and we're just gonna kind of darken that side with the stamp. Cheers, everybody. I hope that y'all are washing your hands, staying inside. I hope Meg loves floofy pants. Oh, 3D printed stamps. That's genius. Anyway, genius. I'll come back to that. I forgot what I was saying. Cheers. Stay home, wash your hands. That's what I was saying. All right, cool. PSA. Stamp pads. You can get all sorts of stamp pads. Stamp pads. Some of them smear. So in theory, what's going to happen is I'm going to stamp down this, and then if we're going to put paint over that, you would be picking up ink in your paint, which would darken your paint, which isn't always the worst thing. Sometimes maybe you want to do that if you're prepared to do that. Usually when I do it, it ends up being a mistake, and I say, "Oh shoot, I forgot." But since the weather is getting nicer, I have this stuff called clear coat. After any questionable layer, I'll just go outside and clear coat the layer, and that basically gives me a brand new surface to work on. You can also gel medium, but gel medium is a smearer because it's a brusher, so I don't always, All right. So anyway, we're stamping, stamp pad. We're making sure that our stamp is upright, and we're going to come down the side here. I think that I'm going to ignore the border that the sign has provided me, and I'm going to try and get as close to that edge as possible. The thing about this, though, is these kind of wiggle, so you can see like we're losing our shape there. Oh, geez. I'm going to keep the lid here so that I can reflatten everything on the lid and just kind of reset between each. So that's what you'll see me do. But it's kind of cool when you don't necessarily pick up all the letters and it kind of just becomes like this almost unrecognizable pattern. I kind of love that situation. Like, really, it's not about the letters themselves. It's about the texture. It's about kind of, differentiating the tones on your canvas. So sometimes even letters will just make a whole side of a canvas darker. That's what we want. We're going for that. Seems like the nub's not coming out so good. So we're gonna give the nub a couple forces. Low gravity. All right, you see that coming in, right? You can see that a little bit. Yeah, so we're just creating like almost from back here, it kind of looks like Morse code or something like that, which is cool. I like that. I've definitely put Morse code in paintings before because it's very easy to sneak that type of stuff into my style of art. There was a time when I was really into watching treasure hunting shows. I don't know if you guys know about the Treasure of Oak Island. Oh my God, get into this saga. This is crazy, Oak Island, how much money people have dropped into attempting to dig down a really deep hole that just keeps filling with water. There's treasure down there, supposedly. But I always thought it was cool. I also really like the movies, the Nicolas Cage movies, National Treasure. Favorite genre of movies with Nicolas Cage. Second favorite genre of movie, action comedies with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So yeah, this is slow going. It is. I know. If I had like 10 sets of these, I would just make a whole block and then I could just boom. Which actually maybe I should get a whole bunch of these so I can do that. Because I'm always trying to figure out how to speed my shit up. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to curse because I'm on YouTube now, so no cursing. But yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. You know what I mean? And what's cool about that is now we have something that the next layer can play off of a little bit. I think I'm going to bring it all the way to the top actually too, because I think that's how we're feeling right now. Ooh, that was a good one. That was not a good one. That one slipped a little bit, so now we got like a wiggle. We got wiggly bee. Also, just to reiterate, if you guys weren't here and I was just saying things inside of my head, these are the things I would be saying inside of my head. Like, oh shit, we got a wiggly bee. All right, this is probably like the last one, I think. I don't know how we feel about that. Looks good on these screens for sure. Maybe I want to come down like another inch. I'm going to do that. It's weird. I think Meg is watching me in the other room, and I can hear her watching me, but it's like 20 seconds behind. So you guys are probably 20 seconds behind right now of actual reality, just so you know, space time. Oh, it's weird. It's like time traveling. Speaking of which, Star Trek Discovery, watch it. It's pretty great. Really great, actually. All right. Boom. Look at that. Look at that fun texture we just did. Yeah, that's rad. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. I like you guys. How you doing? What's good, everybody? What's good? Are you guys drinking? Is anybody drinking? What are you guys drinking? Who's drinking what? Amazing. I love you guys. Lamplighter. You guys know Lamplighter? Cambridge. Always like their brews. Always like their labels. I like pink. I don't know if you guys know about water. I don't know if you guys know about my obsession with the color pink, but I love pink. Pink is the bomb. Great. All the greatest things are pink. All of them. Like my face right now. These lights are so hot. You guys see all these lights on my reflection of my glasses? It's so warm in here. All right, we stamped. We did it. We stamped. That's going to take a little bit to dry, but let's ponder our next step on this painting for a minute while that does dry, because if we can get away with squeezing another little step in there, we're going to try and do that, because we want to speed these paintings up, Ian. You know, people are going to get tired of watching you paint the same 3 signs for another 2 years. All right. I'm going to give you guys a close-up of that. So you just kind of see that. It does kind of look like a little code of some sort, which is fun. But kind of when we bring this next layer in, we'll be able to go over that a little bit, and that's going to help give that next layer a little more closeness. It's going to make it pop. Artists hate that phrase. It's going to make it pop. But you know, so we don't really have too much going on in the way of circles on this one yet. So I think it'd probably be a really good time to start doing some circles. So maybe we could just let's put a line on there. Let's put a line on there and see what happens. Going over here to my favorite, YouTube can see me. Instagram, you can't see me. I'll do this for the moment. Over here, next to my beer, I keep a lot of tools over here. I have, I guess there's an airbrush. There's all my brushes. My beer, obviously, I have a bunch of stuff. These are all triangles and rulers. I have like 14. I like order and lines. But over here, we're just putting together one of my compasses so that we could draw a really nice line. We won't need my double extendo compass, which would look something like this because it'll be nice and huge. But we're going to do a single extendo compass. But I need to steal the pencil from the super extendo. I should name all these things. So you guys, you know, we can personify these things, and then eventually maybe we can even throw a little Mr. Rogers in here and have some make-believe, some talking art tools. One more week on quarantine, and hey, you haven't drawn any circles today. That's true. All right, boom. So these are great. This is just your very standard drafting compass, but it's got extendos. I can get even farther. I think if you wanted me to draw a 40-foot circle, I can do that too, but I use string because that's super easy. All right, so I always try and keep my center mark there in the center. I always try and keep it marked. So that's good. So we know where to put our point, which I put on the wrong side of the compass, but it doesn't really matter. So boom. We don't want our circle going out. That's too far. See that? That's all the way off the side of the bad boy. And we really want to just kind of cover up. Oh, I don't even think I needed my extendo on this. We just kind of want to cover up a little bit of that new texture we threw on there. And we're going to kind of come under one of these. Which I like. That's good. But I do feel like this area we're missing something. So let's carve in a line. Maybe we'll put some loopies on that line. We'll put some triangles on that line. We'll put something on that line. All right, and that's not going to go all the way around. You know, sometimes circles don't go all the way around. And that's okay. Some things are meant to end. As sad as that is. Hi, guys. Mikey Maker. What's good? What's good? What's good? All right. I think I'm going to use a marker. You guys like markers? I love markers. I have these things. These are Prismacolor ripoffs made by Blick, Dick Blick, my art store. These things are great. They are double-ended. One end is chisel tip. See that? Chisel tip. One end is kind of brush tip, kind of round brush tip. I don't use the chiseled side. I only use the brush side. I'm kind of feeling like this painting is already, kind of on this green theme, and I'm kind of feeling like I don't want the whole thing to be green and white. So I think, call me crazy, I think we're gonna do some purple. All right. I also freehand a lot. So, you draw the pencil line, and that's great. But then you got your purple marker, and if these things have width variance, and that adds a lot of fun. It adds a lot of that hand donedness that we like. So we're just gonna freehand this circle that I just drew. You guys can all see that. We're just gonna follow that line all the way. Got a little sticker interference on there. When the sign came into my possession, clearly the hours and days of the 2-hour parking rule had changed. And there was basically just like some white duct tape over it. It's still there. I just painted over that. Because, like I said, I like imperfection. I like that, that feeling that it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. Boom. Purple circle. I'm already feeling this. I'm already feeling this purple color. I'm already feeling this quite a bit. I think I might make that a double line though. So we're gonna do that again. We're not gonna pencil this one. We're just gonna estimate the gap. We're gonna watch really closely as our marker is drawing, and just make sure that we don't stray too far from where it should be. But we're gonna make it a double line. How's that? Did you guys see that? That was pretty good, right? Shoot. I'm getting good at this thing. This art thing. Whatever it is. Oh, you see what happened here? My hand. I smeared some of our stamp. That's all right, though. We like that. We like it. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's cool. Ooh, I like that purple. What do you guys think? I like that purple a lot. I think that purple is great. I keep looking at this. There's this little sticker down here. That just looks like a little eyeball. Sometimes if I just find a sticker and I'm also at the same time staring at a painting, that sticker is going to find its way to that painting. Especially if it's the right color, size, perfection. Happy Sunday, y'all. Hope everything's all right in your world. I really do. I really do. I really do. So I think our next, we're not going to do it yet. We're going to let this ink dry a little bit. So maybe 7:36, maybe the end of this show, we'll get to that. But most likely next episode. But we're going to move on to this bad boy. And I'm now going to show you one of my favorite, most amazing, but I don't use it as often as possible because it feels like cheating techniques. You'll love it. You're going to love this. In fact, YouTube, you've had a preview of this tool all night. Well, all hour. Instagram, you haven't. I don't know if you, nope. Sorry, towel's in the way. But if you subscribe to my YouTube, you get a better view. Hey, YouTube, if you follow my Instagram, I'm awesome on there, I think. I hope. That's my Instagram right there, at Ian Tartasky. And also, that's also how you find me on YouTube. You just type in Ian Tartasky. I have a channel now. It's pretty cool. I feel special. Wayne's World. All right. Painting shift. I'm going to get comments from people being like, this is my favorite part of the show when Ian just switches the paintings. So graceful. How does he do that? All right. Ooh, I really like that purple. Sometimes I just get really, really happy about a decision I made. Anyway, what I was saying is our next layer on that, I think we're going to do just a big, opaque purple, really, really light purple, like a lavender circle. And that'll be the base for the next layer that's going to come after that. I think around the outside, we're going to keep it a little simple. Maybe we'll put a little text in there. Maybe a couple little doodles. I don't know. Maybe we'll draw a SpongeBob or something. Modern art. It's what you want it to be. All right, boom. We are going to do one of my favorite techniques. We do have to do a little prep work first because I didn't do this before the show. First episode. I'm learning. I'm still learning. First episode. I'm still learning. No squirrel friend yet, though. All right. Enough with the jibba jabba. Pencil, ruler, square. We're basically just gonna draw really good intersecting lines right through the center of this piece, and that's gonna help us line up the magic that is our next step. If you'll remember from the last episode, which you won't because, well, some of you might. But on YouTube, the last episode did not exist. It's sometimes really hard to find your center points. So I always try and make sure that if I've accidentally painted over it or whatever, I try to remark it. Clearly, I didn't do that this time because lazy. All right, we're going to choose a fun angle. I feel like the angle of this circle is already kind of like this. Do you guys feel like that? It's almost kind of like a peace sign. I'm into that. I like the peace sign situation. But I feel like our circle is kind of on that axis, kind of like, the Earth is on a weird axis. I think Scooby. Yes. We might draw Scooby. Anyway, axis, Earth axis. So we're going to go with that angle that I'm already feeling is kind of natural. And we're gonna boom. All right, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just pencil, but we're basically just making a big X. I have my square. This thing helps me make a big X just by being a perfect 90-degree angle. Wow, I got all these lights on me. I can't see the center of this thing because that would be too easy, wouldn't it? All right. Bada bang. Also, is this thing, it's all red. Let's get some more color in there. Maybe blue, classic color scheme, red and blue, Shepherd Fair. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to rock and roll with some blue. All right. Are you ready for the magic? Okay. Marker. Push pin. Stencil. Y'all see this thing? This is cut out of an overhead projector transparency sheet. I have a little center extender that's on another sheet. And basically what I could do is put this push pin anywhere on my center extender, and then this then becomes a stencil compass, a compass stencil or something like stencil compass. So basically I could just move this shape, boom, 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 and create some really nasty circles. But you definitely want to find, you know, kind of where. I think I'm going to rock and roll with this. I think I'm going to rock and roll kind of with this peace sign shapeage. So I think I'm just going to draw 3 of these, and then we can put some circles over them that kind of unify everything else. We just kind of want to figure out, you know, all right, where's the coolest spot? You know, I think we don't want to go over these weird shapes here. Oh, geez. But we do want to breach them. And I think this is, you know, overlap is one of the best ways to create depth. So we're going to just make our little push pin point. That way, that's how we know where our center is. All right, give it a little circle. All right. Push pin you kind of have to hold on to. We're going to get our little tape. Where are you, tape end? Where's the tape end? You know what I mean? What is the deal with tape ends? And then tape ripping? Bogus. All right. Tape. Jeez. Oh, jeez. All right. So we got our center point. We're just going to mark that, make sure we're in our center point. Boom. Make sure that we have our line extender line. So basically that line signifies, you know, where did I draw those other lines? So now I just line up my line extender and my line and my dot, and that's perfect. The tape, just boom, put that right on there. And boom, put that right on there. That's going to hold your thing for you. Actually, I'm going to put these down so I can talk to y'all. Markers make really big, bold lines. When your painting is already pretty dark, you're going to want some big, bold lines so you know what you just drew. So I'm going to, sometimes I won't trace this whole shape. Sometimes I'll just do like the centerpiece or the side pieces or whatever. But just for the sake of time and ease, we're going to do this. If you look at some of my other paintings, you might be able to find this shape in there. This is just such an easy way. In fact, I should patent this and not tell people about it. Everybody ignore everything about these secrets I'm teaching you. Because I want to be the rich one. Just so I can take care of all my friends and family. And we're just tracing the shape. I know you guys heard me say stencil and you're probably like, ooh, spray paint. Which I used to love. I used to love spray paint. Doesn't work so well in a studio setting, believe it or not. Uh, and it gives you cancer, so I stopped using spray paint. Boom! You see that? I already did a shape. Or no. Now we're just going to pick this shape up and move it so we can trace out our next shape, which is, in my opinion, brilliant. And like I said, I think we're going to try and stick with that kind of peace sign shape. So I'm dropping this shape down this line here. Tape's not going to work. And boom, that'll hold that. I think we're going to need to put a piece of tape on here. But I always try and reuse tape. You know, it takes me a couple of years to get through a couple of rolls, which is good. As you can see, I kind of store tape on my tools. Tape on my tools is what it is. This is really fun, you guys. I don't know if you heard me. This is really fun. I really enjoy painting for you guys. I always have. Live painting is one of my favorite things to do. It's one of those weird things where, I don't know, if I was a musician, I'd definitely get nervous before going on stage. If I was, I don't know, but for whatever reason, live painting is just, I don't know. I love doing it, and I'm not scared of doing it at all. It makes me really happy. All right, see? Boom, another shape down. Another shape down. I think we're going to need to draw a couple of these, but we don't have to do that tonight. I just wanted to show you the tools, and then I'll finish that up maybe tomorrow, maybe after the show. Who knows? I don't have a job now, so we'll finish it up at some point. All right, tapey, 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 tapey. All right. Bet you guys thought I was going to forget about that pen being in my hat and then be like, where's my pen? Where's my pen? I got it. I got that, you guys. So right now, we're basically we're laying down the lines, you know what I mean? Putting down some strong borders so that we can paint over them. You know, we're creating a little bit of atmosphere. You know what I like to do is just, if I had my way and I could make money from painting $1 trillion paintings that were all just super detailed paintings, and people would pay me mad loot to do that, I would do that. I mean, I would be the Da Vinci of detail. I'd be hiding treasure maps in there. I'd be writing novels and just kind of, you know, this painting, no, this one's just a novel, but it's in the circle, so good luck reading that. All right, you guys see those? You see them? You don't really see them. Let's make them really obvious for you, though. Let's paint them blue. Probably what you saw was that stencil is actually multiple shapes. You can still see it. Often what happens is I will trace this whole shape onto there. Let's put that over my arm so you can kind of see the shape. I'll trace that shape onto there, and then I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to paint each one of those shapes individually. And instead, what I'll usually end up doing is just painting the whole shape. But I think what I'm going to do is not paint them all individually, but I'm going to break it up into a couple simpler shapes. Because, you know, let's have a little bit of a challenge here. These are pretty big shapes, so we could probably use a fairly broad brush. We can definitely use, I'm thinking this is one of my nice brushes. This is one of my brushes that I will hurt myself if I do not clean it after I use it. Important, very expensive brush. Must clean it, must keep good. Brush must good. So we're gonna paint this. That's really, I don't know if you can see that. These lights are really bright. So you see that? That's nice, like bluish, baby, baby blue almost. Excuse me, I burned. Let's paint these shapes. I don't know about you guys, but I've been watching a lot of movies and a lot of TV, and still being very productive. It's crazy how much time I have for everything right now. It's good. I'm learning guitar. I'm working on some musicals. Don't tell anybody. Um, but anyway, back to watching movies. Meg and I watched Onward, the new Pixar movie, and it was pretty good. I kind of really enjoyed it. Uh, so I guess what I'm saying is I'm suggesting you watch Onward. You can see it on Disney Plus if you have that. Uh, if not, I'm sure somebody can give you a password. Not a pirate at all. Uh, yeah, good film. I liked it. I liked it. I like all animation. Really makes me kind of happy. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm meant to be an animator. I do think about animation all the time. All right, you see these shapes now, right? Is it coming in? Yeah, yeah. All right, word. Might be a little light, but what we can do is then hit that with kind of like a dark blue outline. In fact, I know exactly what the next few steps are going to be. Now that I'm talking it out, which is great, which is kind of how you do it. In fact, when I'm painting normal paintings, I have a program called Trello, um, which tracks my time as well as allows me to basically upload a photo of the painting in its current state. I can add notes, I can add checklists and stuff like that. So for my other, not these, because these are kind of, we're doing these free form, but my other ones, I'll keep a checklist and I'll put the next few steps that I have in my brain down on that checklist. Sometimes I won't do what I've written down, but it does make it really good to know um, kind of what you were thinking when you were drinking and painting, because it doesn't always come back. Sometimes you look at a painting and you're like, dang, what was I going to do next? I knew I had a really good idea, and then that idea fades. Cheers. All right, so we're just painting a total of 12 shapes here. It's taking me forever. Has anybody ever done a podcast? What's that like? Is that cool? I think Meg and I would be entertaining. I don't know what we talk about. There used to be a time when Meg would have a hard time going to sleep, and she would ask me to basically retell her movies, uh, but like as if as if it was Ian's movie, or like whatever, like retell it. What? Tell me how Shrek is. Or like what's the plot of Shrek? And I would do like really goofy voices, and I barely remember plots at all. You know what I mean? I get like the four main points. Oh, Shrek's an ogre. He finds a girl who's not an ogre, but she is an ogre, and then but I'll just expound on those points, and then I'll put on like a little play, a little voice play. I think that'd be a fun podcast, just Ian and Meg retelling movies. Uh, I like movies a lot. We'd have to start with like my favorite movies, because those are the only ones I really remember. But I think that'd be fun. I don't know if you guys have been tuning into Meg's live stream karaoke, but she's been having a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of fun with that, but she's crushing it. What a killer! She can sing so well. And then, yeah, tune into Meg's karaoke for sure on Wednesdays, I believe it is. But we just started making like cardboard props for that. Really fun. We did a little mermaid, little clamshell bra, and little green tail. We got costumes and stuff, wigs. We're wigging out. We're doing it. Cheers. 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 Instagram, YouTube. It's funny because you guys don't see each other, but I see both of you. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is how we paint. We're almost done with these shapes. So these shapes will probably need another coat. We won't do that on the show. I'd rather just show you guys kind of the faster stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll start one of those like Patreons, and then there can be like bonus content, and you guys could stick around for like another hour and continue to paint with me. I'd probably get a little more silent an hour of talking. Actually, I could keep going. Cleaning my brush. I think maybe next week. I think maybe we'll get into a little bit of. Sorry, I'm just reaching for my rag here. I think we'll get into a little bit of some airbrushing, guys. Airbrush is so fun, but it's such a pain to keep clean. But God, you want to talk about like the ability to add depth to things and add atmosphere? Airbrushes are crusher, man. I mean, this is exactly why I used to use spray paint, is because you can do very opaque, you can do very gradual, very gradient, light dustings, texture. Love it, stencils. But like I said, that spray paint I think was destroying my lungs. So I stopped using spray paint, which I suggest everybody else do, unless you're using a respirator. Then rock and roll. Oh, we're so close to time here. Instagram, you're gonna die in 1 minute and 47 seconds. YouTube, I'm gonna kill you at that same time, I guess. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We worked on all three. That's rad. We only did one step on all three, but that was cool. I'll be a little better planned for next episode, and we can do. We'll cruise. We'll cruise. I'll have all my paints mixed and all my supplies out, and maybe I won't blab so much, but I really miss you guys, so it's hard not to blab. It's a really hard time, you know. Hope I already know a few people who haven't made it. Well, not a few, but death is here, you guys. Anyway, I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay clean. Wash your hands. Don't go out if you can avoid it. I love you very much. Be good. Also, have fun. Rock and roll. Tell jokes. Cuddle. Drink if you want to. Now's the time. It's the apocalypse, baby. Do it up. You know what I mean? Hopefully we won't have any zombie attacks. But I don't know. Instagram, 18 seconds. I love you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the hearts. Oh, Chris, what's up? Oh, all right. Anyway, check this out. Ta-da!
We like the blabbing.
Le Meg.
Right? Don't we like the blabbing guys? Well, it's kind of whoa.
Oh,
Bye,
bye
Instagram.
Oh, bye YouTube. Thank you for coming. You're great.